Alright, Swoppets update. So here I am last night. Had this dude out on the ogle wall for or the ogle shelf, just randomly staring at it, and something caught my eye here on his backpack, which I'd never noticed before, is a Marx Toys logo. And I don't think I've ever seen it described anywhere in reference to the figures. See it quite clearly. Marx Toys, made in Hong Kong. And I just went through the stash of them. These here in this box and these here in this box have no markings on their packs. These four here all have this newly discovered Marx Toys, made in Hong Kong, Marx Toys, made in Hong Kong, Marx Toys, made in Hong Kong. These three here, alright, these just have made in Hong Kong, made in Hong Kong, and made in Hong Kong. I guess I should take one of the packs off and see if there's any information on the inside. I think I can work this one off right now. I knew that some of these had made in Hong Kong markings on the packs. Hong Kong, made in, but I don't see any indication of a logo. The reason why it's interesting enough to make a video about is that the rule of thumb I'd learned is that one of the ways to distinguish these things is that the Marx made Swoppet figures are going to have painted backpacks, and their plastic is usually somewhat flexible. That's more of a stiffer hard plastic. That's flexible. That's a stiffer hard one. So the plastic rule about it being vinyl or whatever may not be accurate. And indeed, these still may be Marx produced. I thought that everything in this box here was either made by Marx or a copy. And these here were either made by Charalia or a copy. And now I'm wondering, what's going on here? Is this still a Marx Swoppet? Because he's got his painted backpack, and it's the flexible vinyl plastic. This is a stiffer plastic. That's not flexing, and it's got the Marx logo there. Same here. That's a stiffer plastic Marx logo. Stiffer plastic Marx logo. More like an army man plastic. Stiff is probably the wrong word. And that's flexible, and that's flexible. Here's one that does not have even a Hong Kong on it, and it's the same. It appears to be and feels to be the same kind of plastic as the yellow dude, although he does not have the additional painted feature on his feet. And I'm trying to establish identifiable nomenclature that'll let us figure out who made which Swoppet, or at least distinguish the Marx Swoppets from the others. And for all I know right now, I only have 4 Marx made Swoppet figures out of them all, with some that appear to share the same characteristics as Marx figures. I mean, that's pretty much the same color of plastic. They both have the attention of detailing to their feet. They both have the painted accessory pack, but this one just says made in Hong Kong, and this one has a Marx logo. Did Marx stop marking them? And at some point, did they dumb down their production and stop painting them? Don't know, and very intrigued. This is one that I've always presumed my favorite of them all. This yellow guy looks totally freaked out. I've always presumed that he was a Marx figure, and there's no Hong Kong on his backpack anywhere. Is it? Okay. Let's see. We'll unwrap him and look at it later after the show. Like Captain Kangaroo, he'd always... We'll use one I prepared before the show, or we'll do that after the show. Interesting development. I'd never noticed that Marx Swoppets are, or sometimes, marked with a Marx logo on their equipment pack. Just another distinguishing feature to look for when trying to authenticate your Swoppet spaceman figures. And any insights and hints as to how to guide me further on this search here with these things. I never had any as a kid. I remember encountering them once or twice and just being disturbed because they're so different than your standard spaceman figure. Where's it? Here's just basic Palmer spaceman. They're just so oddly different than that. There's a different sensibility. It's more of a science fiction form, more related to Buck Rogers, but what the heck are they? They look like they're wearing spaceman suits from Antonio Margheriti's science fiction films from the early and mid 1960s, like Assignment Outer Space, Battle of the Worlds, War of the Planets, War Between the Planets, Wild Wild Planet, and Snow Devils. That's about the only costume. Well, I'm sure there's probably others, but I've wondered where the design sensibility came from, and the rule of thumb that I've learned previously is that Charlia Toys had come up with the look as early as 1962. Although I don't think these are 1960s. I think some of these are from the 1970s. They kept making them. Apparently. Totally anonymous copy, made out of plastic. No Hong Kong, no nothing on it. But there we go. Marx Toys, made in Hong Kong. And a little update on the Swoppets. I'm your Swoppet dude. If you got any news on Swoppets, give me a shout. Swoppet Spaceman, that is. Cowboys and Knights. I don't know about that. Anyway, back to the fascination.